Alright, time for the next video. Hey, what's going on guys, Justin here. So some of you may have noticed that a lot of my content lately has been revolving around Samsung, and that's because they really have a lot going on. Just like in the past couple months, they released 3 new phones, a tablet, wearables, and announced some pretty cool new laptops. They're basically trying to build their own ecosystem. But there's still some things in their lineup that need to be addressed in order for more people to get on board with this whole ecosystem. Just like the new Galaxy Watch 3. Which packs some really cool features, but overall a minor upgrade from last time. So one of the main reasons why I finally decided to pick one up is because of the Watch 3's beautiful design. It's got this amazing, very durable stainless steel housing, which is actually the first thing that drew me into buying one of these. It's also got this high quality leather strap which you can easily remove and swap out with essentially any 20 or 22mm strap, depending on the watch size you get. I really like how I can easily use my silicone strap that I got online for working out or just taking a walk. Or I can even put my metal one from my Fossil watch if I just decide to dress up a little bit. So yeah, I really like how I can transform the whole look of the watch without having to break the bank. And with this, it looks like any traditional watch in the market, which makes it very easy to style and stays a little bit low-key. Unlike the Apple Watch where it has a distinct design, so people already know what it is and what it can do. It's also a bit thicker than the older ones because of the new sensors, but it's not really a big deal. Because overall, this looks way sleeker, with the same 2 buttons on the side mapped as the back and home button, with one having an engraved Galaxy Watch branding on it. And of course, the best way to navigate through any smartwatch, the physical rotating bezel. And I cannot express how much I love using this. It's very responsive, makes the scrolling experience a lot quicker, and saves you from getting any wild fingerprints on the screen. And there's also this very satisfying click you get every time you rotate the bezel, and it somehow gives you more control over the watch. And the coolest part about it is you can actually play some games using the bezel. And in my case, I downloaded the classic Snake game on the Galaxy Store and just went crazy with it. And because this is a new watch, you get a wide array of customizable watch faces, and Samsung was nice enough to put in some really cool ones here that are actually very different from the ones they had in the past. I like how they decided to go a bit more playful this time and provided more customizable and animated ones where you can almost fill up the entire screen with information. It's one of the best sets of watch faces they made in a while, but in true Samsung fashion, the most interesting one is still My Style, where you can create your own watch face using the colors found in any photo of your choice. So let's say you want to make one that matches the color of your outfit or any object. Just take the photo and you'll be given a bunch of options that will match your photo. As far as software is concerned, nothing much has really changed here. It still has good app organization with a very simple layout, which makes the watch a lot more enjoyable and easy to use. Also, the amount of details you can see with every app, especially your workouts, is awesome. It kind of shows you that one day you won't be needing your phone anymore to access all the extra information. Let's take the Samsung Health app for example. In the middle of your workout, you can just stop and take a quick glance of your progress and see different details about it. And once you're done, you'll be able to see everything from the time and distance, heart rate zones, your pace, weather, and the trail that you traveled along the way. And one huge favorite of mine is sleep tracking. This has been very helpful with learning about my sleeping patterns, and for some reason, I just like seeing an in-depth analysis of my light sleep, deep sleep, rapid eye movement, and seeing what point I woke up and moved around. So if you haven't tried this out yet, I highly recommend that you do, because it's really fun and it's really helpful, especially when achieving fitness goals. Although wearing this watch to sleep may not be the most comfortable thing in the world, so you might want to get a silicone strap for a better fit. I also like how before you start each workout type, the watch gives you this short animation of how to execute a certain exercise. So this would be really nice for those who are just getting into fitness during this quarantine. And for weightlifting, the watch is also able to count your reps. So as someone who used to go to the gym a lot, this will come in handy because I'm sure I'm not the only one who loses count of my reps. There are some cool hidden features too, where you can remotely control your phone's camera, track your hand washing, which is something very useful nowadays, and being able to use your watch as a trackpad using the PowerPoint controller app. Nothing too essential, but just some things that can be useful for what you might need it for. The addition of smart replies is really helpful as well, especially if you're driving around and you get stuck in traffic. I remember driving my motorcycle one day and I found it very convenient that I can quickly respond to my text without having to pull my phone out. I just tap on the message, turn the bezel, and just choose from any of my customized quick responses to reply. So since most of us are just at home nowadays, pretty much our only option is to jog around the block or the neighborhood. But now that the Watch 3 has third-party app support for Spotify, you no longer have to carry your phone around in your pocket. You can easily download all your desired songs and playlists onto the watch, connect your Galaxy Buds Live, and you'll be able to head off with nothing pulling you down. Battery life on the Watch 3 is pretty typical, but it definitely lasts longer than I expected to. Based on my own experience, I would usually get an average of 2 days, but when I use it heavily with max brightness, always on display and all that, it usually lasts me a day or a day and a half. It really all depends on the usage. But I would definitely like to see some improvement in future models along with faster charging speeds, because this thing takes a bit over 2 hours to charge, so it'll be nice to have faster charging. And you know how I said this was my first ever smartwatch? Well, I actually bought a Galaxy Fit just about a year ago, so technically that was my first one. But it couldn't do all the cool things I could do right now, such as answer phone calls, which is something that surprised me because the microphone on the Watch 3 is fairly good. There's no accurate way of describing it, so what you're hearing right now is actually coming from the Watch 3 itself. So as you may have seen, this packs some really cool features, but what makes it really hard to recommend is the price. It's $329. And on paper, if you put this beside its predecessor, there's not much you can point out to be considered a huge upgrade. While the Watch 3 may have double the storage, a better design, and a blood oxygen sensor, it also has a smaller battery, slightly smaller RAM, and the same processor. Being 2 years apart from each other, of course we want to see better specs on a newer one. But while any upgrade is still better than nothing, it definitely doesn't justify the higher starting price. And about the blood oxygen sensor, just like the new Apple Watch Series 6, the oximeters found on these watches are not medical grade. It's basically just there to give you reading for post-workout purposes or if you just feel a bit off. But even so, it would still give off very erratic readings. Like there were times where I would get 80 to 85%, which is actually really bad, when in fact I was feeling totally fine. So I wouldn't heavily rely on this for accurate readings. The Watch 3 also still lacks third-party app support. Now this has been raised in so many reviews, but until now, there's nothing. Except for Spotify. Just imagine how much better Galaxy Watches would be if we were able to access apps like Facebook Messenger, Twitter, Strava, and other fitness or productivity related apps that will make us get more out of the watch. Next is the user interface, which is kinda outdated. If you compare it to the Watch Frontier S3, which was released 4 years ago, the user interface looks identical. They may have changed the design language and updated the icons, but the overall experience and layout is the same. You still have your drop-down menu, the same rotary view for your apps, and just everything about it is the same. And paired with this is software optimization and performance. This is running on an Exynos 9110 processor with Tizen Wear OS 5.5, and it doesn't always perform as well as I want it to. Scrolling or navigating can be really smooth, there's no problem with that. But there's always this half a second or even a second delay when opening my widgets or even some apps for that matter. I also experienced some pretty heavy lag when the watch would get loaded with notifications or when I just newly connected my phone to the watch. And of course, I couldn't help but nitpick a few things, and one of those is the stock leather strap. Don't get me wrong, the quality is top notch, it feels very premium, but for something that most people use for working out or just overall outdoor use, it would have been nice if Samsung gave us an option to choose between a rubber strap or a leather strap. I mean, it is compatible with other watch straps, but just being able to get it straight out of the box would be pretty nice. Also, I just wish all the downloadable watch faces can be customized, because apparently the only ones you can heavily customize are the ones that come along with the Watch 3, so that's quite of a bummer. Alright, so after using this for over a month and it being my first ever smartwatch, I definitely see the importance of this, and I kinda like how versatile it is too. If you're looking to get more out of your day or even yourself, this might actually interest you. And even with its shortcomings, the health and fitness tracking, Spotify support, access to your texts, emails, and calls still make it an ultimate productivity tool. Is it worthy of an upgrade though? I wouldn't say it is, because again, not a big jump on specs and performance along with a higher starting price. I personally think Samsung just released this only because they wanted to complete that Galaxy ecosystem that they're trying to build. But if you're getting this as your first ever smartwatch, then this is a really good one to start with. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys can leave a thumbs up if you liked the video and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Even with its shortcomings, the health and Spotify mail still makes it a very, really good one to start with. Anyway, yeah. Is it worthy of an upgrade though? Again, not a